it's like if you smoke, it gets on your clothes.
Yeah.
If you poop, it gets on your carpet. Like, it's just like the
Well,
scent.
I don't know about that. I don't know how you poop.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Here's a scorching hot take for you.
Okay.
I don't think that movie where the puppet comes everywhere is going to win any Oscars.
No?
No, I don't think so.
We saw HappyTime Murders, and it was a million times better than I thought.
Same.
It was very bad.
bad.
It was very bad. I thought it was going to be the worst movie ever, and it ended up being very bad, watchable. Like, I got up for a little bit, took a break, but it was overall bad, which is that's a real coup for that movie.
Yeah, so
triumph.
I proposed this idea to you probably last week. I was like, we should do some sort of rating system where the ratings are literally very bad, bad, fine, good, very good, and like amazing or something. And then you can throw in piece of shit of the year. And
yes,
like I was expecting this movie to be piece of shit of the year, or at least in contention. I'd seen like early reviews saying that this was like the worst movie of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
and it absolutely
it had
was not.
it written all over it.
Right.
It looked like it was going to be absolutely terrible. But I mean, I've long believed this. Like, bad is just a quality. So something can be bad. I am happy for this movie that it was bad, because think of it in the grand scheme of things. You could be so many things worse than bad. Like, you don't want a person to be bad, but like moments can be bad, things can be bad, and in the grand scheme of things, that's just like a part of that fucking thing. So this movie was bad. It was supposed to be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So this was...
I also think this movie was supposed to be bad. Like, it is a movie.
They had to know when they were making it. It was bad.
Yeah, it is a movie about it's Melissa McCarthy plays a detective who lives in a world where it's like half humans, half puppets, and the puppets are basically shunned from society, and there's just like a bunch of murdering going on of the puppet people, and so she has to work with her former partner who is a puppet, and it's just like, it is the absolutely most absurd thing in the world, and you knew that when you look at the trailers. Like, it was basically like Sesame Street X-rated, and so it was supposed to be bad, but I feel like it had its redeemable moments. There were funny moments in the movie. Like, there were parts where I laughed, and it's just like if you went in expecting that movie to be anything other than bad, you were going to be severely disappointed.
Yeah, the big thing with me, just a big surprise, was I assumed it was going to be that the voices were going to be done by famous people, and they really weren't.
Well, I couldn't figure out who the main guy was. Like, the main... What was his name? Phil Phillips?
Yeah, let me see. It says there's somebody...
Bill Beretta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's... yeah, I don't know who that is.
He does the voice of the Muppets?
Yeah, Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think these are, like, Muppets people. Like, wasn't this a... Brian Henson?
Yes.
Is he related? Yeah,
I have no idea.
The chairman of the Jim Henson Company. So, like, this was like an actual...
I'm sure Jim Henson feels fantastic about this movie.
Well, I'm pretty sure Jim Henson's dead.
Well, he is dead.
Yes.
He's...
this was like...
He's coming in his grave right now.
This was almost an official Muppets production.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's... basically, if you get like felt puppets made... They all look exactly like that. There must be some sort of company or whatever, because the actually no, I think like the Henson people made the puppets in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, really?
And here in Boston, the Felger and Maz radio show, every Friday they replay segments using felt puppets, which sucks because that was an idea that I wanted us to do for brunch. And we just assumed it would be too expensive, and then that ended up happening. Those look like the same puppets too, you know?
Yeah, right.
So I think that there's like just this one company that has a monopoly on felt puppets. We should. This is a franchising opportunity for us. I think we should undercut that company and be like, hey, we can make you felt puppets. Here's a prototype. Yeah. Looks like shit. This is probably what yours will look like.
It's also, we could be kind of what is it, social justice or something? Like we could make sure.
I'm always down for being an SJW.
Yes, so we could make sure that not everybody sees puppets the same way.
Yeah.
Where it's like if somebody says, hey, all puppets look the same, you say, hey,
yeah,
that's not okay.
Excuse me. Look, I know like your parents may have been raised in a certain time, but I like to think they raised you a little bit differently. Shame on them. This is what puppets look like. And they're like, but that doesn't look like a human. Real good. How do you think that puppet feels now? It's not supposed to look like a human asshole. It's supposed to look like a fucking puppet.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right, exactly.
Those
could teach people a lesson here, a valuable lesson.
Yes, social justice puppet warriors. But warriors is problematic because we're not necessarily condoning. It depends on like what the war is. We want peace in this world.
We're social justice puppet warriors,
peaceful protesters, warriors.
All about the words.
Warriors.
Warriors.
I like peaceful protesters because that harkens back to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Okay.
And Doug Baldwin, Colin Kaepernick, all the people trying to spread a positive
equally as
message.
Important, fighting for the rights of puppets.
What's that?
That equally as important. Putting them on the same plane.
Tell you what,
fighting for the rights of puppets.
If we get Doug Baldwin on this cause, then we will look a million times smarter because Doug Baldwin is a million times smarter than us. And he is, like, when he's been on CNN and everything like that, I'm like, man, I'm glad that I've had Doug Baldwin as a keeper on my team. This is the third and final year I can keep him.
Yeah.
I'm one of those fantasy owners that's actually proud to be. I'm proud to be in the Doug Baldwin business.
Nice.
So if we can we should tweet at Doug Baldwin. And
sort of disagree with you there, though. Like,
why?
Doug Baldwin's only going to make us look dumber because he is that smart.
That's true.
Haven't we had that conversation about Killer Mike? Like we
don't want to interview Killer Mike.
Yeah, we were like, we should have Killer. No, we shouldn't because Killer Mike will make us look so stupid.
Yeah, that's what. You don't want.
You need to guess on the same sort of playing field, the same sort of stratosphere as you.
And if you know, like the only way that we could attack Killer Mike type interview would be to do the Nardwuar type of thing, which is like
we know everything.
Yeah,
about
like you're smarter than me, but we did our fucking research, so you can't be mad at us. That's always my go-to with interviewing. You can never accuse me of being like, this guy is sloppy and has mailed it in. Right. I make it airtight. You can only have issues with me personally, which I'm fucking used to, and I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. Did we ever talk about that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the notes that I had on HappyTime Murders was that Elizabeth Banks, way too good for this shit.
Elizabeth Banks' career is so interesting to me because I think that everyone first saw her where she was like playing the hot girl in a movie in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and so she went to NYU. She's like this trained actress, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be great or anything.
Yeah, or successful. Yeah,
right. But
she's got a fucking resume.
She's
man.
like very popular, but she just always plays a fucking silly thing in movies. Like I thought that she'd be doing more. I know that she's like producing a lot and doing things like that.
Well, she did.
I just thought that she was going to be
Perfect.
kind of
directed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought that she would be more of a leading lady, which it's cool. Maybe her aspirations were to do more behind the scenes stuff, but she always just kind of has these bit roles where how has Elizabeth Banks not starred in a movie yet?
Like
or one that anyone would talk about.
Even in Curb Your Enthusiasm, she played a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
who dated Larry David. Like,
I always wonder about the people in Curb Your Enthusiasm who don't play themselves, because Elizabeth Banks is a lot more famous than people who have played themselves in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Right. Chris Parnell also played a person. Anton Yelkin died.
Dead. It's weird because I feel like the Larry David stuff, Seinfeld and Curb are like extensions of reality.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who is playing like themselves by name
Yeah.
in the show, and they're an idiot or like just an asshole, it makes you be like, that person's really an asshole.
Now
it's sort of the same thing with Crashing and Pete Holmes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when Mulaney was an asshole on that show, I was like, I wonder if Mulaney's an asshole in real life.
I feel like Mulaney does the thing where, did I ever tell you the story of the time a kid rear-ended my friend's car in high school?
No.
It was the proudest I've been to another person. This kid who, nice-ish guy, sometimes could be a little bit of a prick. He rear-ended. High school too.
Yeah.
Peak. The juices were flowing. Rear-ended this great sweetheart of a kid, everyone's favorite person. He rear-ended this great guy in the parking lot accidentally. They got out of their cars, and the kid who rear-ended the good guy said, "I'm sorry," and then slapped him in the face. And I was so proud of him because he took the opportunity. He was like, here's a moment where if I'm an asshole right now, it would be so fucking funny. Like, you don't always want to be an asshole, but there are little moments where it's kind of harmless to be an asshole, and it's really funny. I think that John Mulaney, just as a clever mind, appreciates that.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have that skill completely. Sometimes I'll pick my spots wrong when I'll be like,
Just be an asshole.
it'd be funny to be an asshole right here, and then you're an asshole, and everybody's like, DJ,
Right.
her mother died. And I'm like, I just thought that if I maybe poked the bear a little bit right now, it would be a little funny. Sorry. I swung and missed. But yeah, I think that's what John Mulaney does.
Fair.
But it seems like we've taken a little bit of a Larry David detour. Definitely have more thoughts on HappyTime Murders that we'll get back to. But let's explore the Larry David space for a little bit. I watched Clear History. You started reading Hitchhiking with Larry David.
Haven't really started it yet. I got the book.
Well, that's a start for me.
Yeah, okay.
I've started this Paul McCartney in the 1970s biography I'm reading. Started it a couple weeks ago when I got the book.
Okay.
Can't wait for the next part. That's when that's
page 1. That's
when I'm sinking my teeth into it.
Nice. Okay.
That's when you can't put it down. When you start to read a book is when you say, "Oh man, I can't put that book down." That's a stupid thing. Have you read this book? Oh, once you start reading it, you can't put it down. Like, well, then I can't do it because I can't have an uninterrupted 6-hour part of my life. I have appointments.
Yeah, humble brag that it would only take you 6 hours to finish a book. Nice try.
You're right. Like, how long does it take to read a book? $10?
Days? How long could it take?
What could it take? $10? I used to do that though. Like, I would, like with like a Harry Potter book or whatever,
yeah, man.
if I had like 100, if I had like 200 pages left, I
Oh,
just fucking sit there and pour through 200 pages.
It's the absolute worst when you get to the end because you can see the finish line.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm not going to read like 20 pages the next sitting.
Yeah.
So you just fucking power through it. And by the time you get to the end of it, you don't even want to be reading it anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's not even satisfying to finish it. You're just like, oh, thank God that's fucking over with.
Yeah. Man, you did we ever voice my book club idea?
No.
I came up with it. Someone else on the podcast wasn't as keen on it, and we didn't do it. I wanted to do a book club where we only read the book versions of movies that they make after the movie comes out.
I don't think that they make them after they come out. I think that they like reprint them so they have like the
No way of
movie
knowing.
poster on the front.
No way of knowing.
I don't know how many books have been made like off of movies.
Oh, no, dude, that happens all the time.
Really?
Or at least they did that when I was a kid. Yeah, they would make like you could buy like D2, The Mighty Ducks Are Back as a book.
Really?
Yeah, they would just fucking make those shits into books. And I'd be like, look, I'm reading accounts. And she's like, no, stop.
So our book club idea would be we read the book versions of movies that come out after the movie.
Yes.
And then we read them, we finish them, and then we say, the movie was better.
Yes, right. Not to be a snob, prefer the film. I much preferred the film version of The Snowman. Plus, it was the book version of The Snowman was like in the middle of the book where they have a bunch of pictures sometimes. Yeah. It was just like that, except it was a bunch of blank pages.
Yes, I was gonna say the Snowman book would just be scattered blank pages. Like, I think they forgot to finish.
Gotta
this.
say, the Snowman book, a little light. not the weight of your normal novel. But yeah, I saw Clear History, and it was pretty solid. It was just a
Is that the John Hamm one?
yes.
Okay.
It was like a 90-minute Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Right, yeah.
It was unapologetically
Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right, and it was done through HBO, so that makes sense. It's an HBO movie.
And I think it was like produced by Larry David or something. Like it was written by Larry David.
Yeah, it was like all Larry David.
Yeah. It was, and the cool thing about it was basically a custom made for me movie because John Hamm's glorious face was in it. It had a great cast. Everybody in it, even bit roles, were played by big shots.
Right.
But the entire soundtrack was Chicago, which is probably like as Van Morrison is to you, seemingly, Chicago is to me. That's like my favorite like band that I know nobody else my age likes.
Yeah, I know, and it's wild. Like, does nobody my age like Van Morrison?
I'm going to go to Van Morrison with you.
What?
Yeah.
Pavilion?
Yeah.
The tickets are super expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they were like over $100.
Have they gone on resale or normally?
I think like resale. Because that's why I asked if you could get me free tickets, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that. But I was looking, and they were fucking super expensive.
Let me work on it. So
man.
I
just looked it up right now. If I'm looking for 2 tickets, what's your budget per ticket? The minimum is $385.
What?
Yeah. Holy smokes! Literally, the minimum listed right now, lowest price $435 each.
Oh my!
That's crazy.
Goodness gracious!
Like, is it? It must be like, hey, this guy's gonna die soon. This might be the last chance that you get to see him. So, because that's why I want to go see Van Morrison. That guy's gonna die soon.
Yeah, and I take it you've not
I've
seen
never
him before.
Seen him, no.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do. It'd be a cool night for dancing in the moon, as he says.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Dancing in the I was saying moon dance was what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dancing in the moonlight, everybody.
Know that one?
Yeah, you do.
That's that Fender Rhodes. It sounds beautiful. But that was a good movie, worth watching. There were a few big LOL parts in it. Amy Ryan was in it, and Amy Ryan's just great.
Do I know
She'll put a Holly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen this movie in fucking forever. So
Wait, you saw that movie?
what? Clear History?
Yeah.
I told you about it last episode.
Yeah, I didn't know. I've told you about shit that I don't know about.
But I've described.
We've
to you,
talked about happiness in this podcast. What the fuck do you do? What?
But I described to you the entire plot of the movie.
Yeah.
I guess I could know that without seeing it. But yeah, I saw it forever ago.
You said it's about Larry David being unhappy and trying to ruin someone's life. I was like, yeah, so it's Seinfeld,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever. I should give it another shot because I liked it the first time, but that was before I was exposed to like the Larry David world.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I would like it more the second time around.
Nice. I'm looking forward to you reading Hitchhiking with Larry David. I might dip back into that. The issue was I bought it on, I think I had it on some sort of digital thing when all like the electronic books were happening and everything, and I was never in on that.
Yeah.
But for some reason that was what I had.
I did that with Aziz Ansari's book, and I think that was the last time that I ever did that because I was like, this feels weird and gross. I need the physical book.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever finished Aziz Ansari's book. It was just like everything I read in it, I was like, there was some interesting information in it, right? But it was just all shit that I knew. Like I remember at that time, it was when I was going through a thing where I was really trying to like not text message at all because it's gotten more intense in my old age. But I've always had this aversion to text messaging where I'm like, this is weird, and this is not how we should be communicating. There are certain ways in which it's definitely good and beneficial to calling people on the phone, like when you don't want to talk to them.
People become too reliant on it.
Right. But like my thing back in the day was like if I was gonna like ask a girl to dinner or anything like that,
it feels weird to do it
I would
via
call
text.
them and be like, hey, how you doing? And at this point, seemingly they're a person who wants to talk to and hear from me. So like I would talk to my friends about it. They'd be like, isn't that weird though to like call a girl and be like, hi, how was your weekend? And I was like, if you're weird about it, then yes, but just don't be fucking weird about it.
I think you have to kind of train them to accept that.
Yeah.
Because at this point in my life where like texting is 99% of all my communications, I feel like if I called somebody or called like a random person out of the blue, they'd be like, yo, what is wrong?
What's wrong? Yeah.
So, I think you kind of just have to get them trained that this is your thing.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, if it's, so sticking with that example, if it's a girl I'm talking to, they're already long trained. They're like, you either have the gene where you can put up with me, or you are, like you either think the shit that I do is cool, or you think that I'm a fucking nightmare. It's someone said to me the other day, they were like, how many Twitter followers do you have? And I looked and I was like, 24,100. And they were like, huh. I'd think that you'd have more. And I was like, I've had 24,100, I'm pretty sure, for like 5 years now. It's like, this is exactly the amount of people that can put up with me. Yeah. Yes. Every now and then, 3 or 4 will leave, and then 3 or 4 more will come, and then they'll keep swapping each other in and out. But you can either put up with me or you fucking can't.
By the way, we have been murdering it on
the social media
on
game.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Because of that video of the Mamma Mia Dunkirk thing.
Oh,
that
yeah?
got retweeted like 5,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I had a great tweet I was going to send from the brunch account, but I thought better of it. It was going to be rest in peace, John McCain. Yes. And then like that would just be it. But like people would get the joke. Like
he
has died.
Like we make dead people jokes. In all seriousness, rest in peace, John McCain. War hero. Politician, served a long time. Loved him in Die Hard. Just big fan.
He was a politician that I fucking disagreed with. That used to be how it was. Like there would be the politicians that you like and mostly agree with, and there would be the politicians that like, man, I can't believe he fucking wants this. What an asshole that guy is. Fuck. But like there's some like you understand he's a guy.
That guy to hell.
You understand he's a guy and that he really in his heart of hearts is trying to do what's best for people, and you'd be like, man, how could you make that decision? I fucking disagree with that so much. Oh, god damn it, John McCain. But you wouldn't be like, holy fuck, we're all gonna die because of this guy. So I mean, I was sitting around on Sunday morning watching CNN shit of John McCain. It's fucking sad. I know that Ellen is
I had to deal with her crying all weekend.
Ellen is Ellen is a John McCain stan, and she honestly like her Twitter feed was like one of the first things I went to when I saw that
I had to
he
break
died.
the news.
Really?
Yeah, what an asshole.
You had to Stevie Wonder it to her?
Yeah.
You ever seen the video of Stevie Wonder telling his concert that John Lennon had died?
No.
People have differing reactions on it. I thought that it was like a sweet thing. I guess we can drop in the audio.
I would like to say something. I'd like your attention, please. This is very important, and I want you all to understand that I am not a person who likes to be the of any bad news, but I think that I would like to, for those of you that don't know this, because I couldn't, it's been really hard for me to do this show tonight, but I did it in memory of people like this man, like Dr. Martin Luther King, and like someone that recently was shot. He was shot tonight 3 times, and I will tell you who. And I know that maybe you won't be able to sing this song with me, but The song is about people like him that have lived and died with a principle of unity for all people. And I'm talking about Mr. John Lennon. So I'm very sorry to have to tell you that.
One could argue it takes him a little while to land the plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. Not me, man. I was looking at my phone. I was like, ooh, John McCain died.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Ellen,
Rip the Band-Aid off.
I've got some news about the death of John McCain. It is final.
It was sort of a dick move because it was on like the middle of a Saturday night, and we were at a brewery, and she was like, "Hey, John McCain died." And she's like, "Don't tell me that."
No way to get that those Saturday night juices flowing.
Yeah,
Really vibing on Saturday night.
Hey, all
It's
Saturday
like,
night.
ooh, these tunes just make me want to tell ya John McCain has died. This is terrible.
All good Saturday night ends. All good Saturday night end.
Saturday nights.
Saturday nights
There we
end
go.
with your partner crying.
Nice. I would make fun of you for your difficulty with plural words there,
Nah.
but your difficulty right there is nothing compared to everybody else. Stop fucking putting apostrophes in plural words, everybody. It's
I know.
getting worse
Jesus.
and worse. Especially now that like fantasy football is coming up, people say, like, hey, which wide receiver apostrophe S should I draft? Which wide receiver should you draft? That's an odd question.
The one that
What sentence
that
structure?
really bothers me is the days of the week.
Yes.
Like, can't wait for Sundays. Sundays during
Wait,
football
right.
season.
Can't wait for Sunday's what?
Yes.
For Sunday's favorite hour?
Been waiting all
For
day
Sunday's
for
nightfall?
Sunday is night.
Yes. Oh. It's because
People are
again,
dumb.
we're fucking dummies. We're no Doug Baldwins. we're not your Doug Baldwin. We're just a couple of Pete and Deeges.
Yeah. So,
Also, I've been moving away from Deej. Have you noticed this?
no.
I've been getting a lot more Dave of late, and Brave
like it?
Dave specifically.
Okay.
And I don't hate it. I like to switch things up a little bit. I know it's like we're like right now I'm the artist formerly known as Prince. I know I'm going to go back to being known as Prince, but
What, Deej? Yeah, I mean, for me, Deej matches your personality way better than Dave does.
Deej is more of a little shit.
Yeah,
than-
oh yeah.
Actually, I'm not a little shit. I'm
Like,
too fat to be
I
a
feel like
little
you
shit.
shouldn't move away from Deej unless you're ready to become a big J.
Yeah.
Or be like a boring ass.
I was gonna
down
do
the
that.
middle sports anchor.
I was going to do that. If I went to the Boston Globe, I was going to be David J. Bean.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that was going to be...
That would look good on a byline.
Yeah, right. Like, that was begging for that byline. And,
Man, I had a weird experience this weekend. I was at a bar, and I can't believe that places still do this, but the bar that I went to puts the newspaper up and they like pin that day's newspaper above the urinal.
in the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's great. Love it.
It's such a weird thing, though.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that.
The Force still does it.
Yeah, I was doing that, and I was like, Nora Princiotti. It was like her Patriot
Right.
stuff. And I was like, it's so weird to me that, like, oh, yeah, she is, like, in the Globe.
Yeah.
Right on the sports page.
Yeah.
It just, like, never hits me that these newspaper people who work for, I just always think of the newspaper stuff as digital first.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
see the print version, I'm like, that's kind
You
of
just
cool.
think of a newspaper as something that you don't get to see because
Right.
you forgot your login thing. I still pay for a Globe subscription thing, and I never can read any. I still read 5 free articles a month because I don't know the thing. Nora rules, by the way.
Love it.
Nora is... Every now and then, I have these meltdowns about the state of journalism and writing and everything, and I've probably had a million of them on here because it just like fucking makes me sad that now writing has become this thing of it's more about like are you like at the cool kids table? Like
Yeah.
there's this cool kids table of like, oh, this person's quirky and they have a personality, therefore they're a good writer. And I'm like waiting to read what the fucking good things they've written are, you know?
Right, yeah.
And like I wrote for weei.com, which is it's not the Boston Globe. Great website, celebrating 10 years, awesome, loved every second there. But like it's not known
It's
as
not a
being
beacon
like
of journalism.
Right, like it's not known as being this great thing, but I really fucking practiced journalism. Like I was a goofball from time to time, but I was like I'm going to report things. I'm going to get things right. I'm going to like learn how to actually talk to people and interview people and learn how to fucking do this. And there are people there who are very helpful that let me do that. But like, that's what I was fucking trying to do. Nobody's trying to do that anymore. Nora,
Everybody's trying to be cool.
right. Yeah. Like Nora is a good reporter, knows the sport she's covering very well, like has interesting thoughts, and also has like a good personality and is good on Twitter and shit. Like you can fucking be both. And I feel that most people these days strive to just be, like I said, at the cool kids table.
Right.
Like and I'm wondering, like, does Bill Simmons, like, does he, like, who's the person that like has a good eye for like these great up and coming people? Because seemingly, like, people like Nora who can kind of do it all should be the stars. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I think there's definitely an element of self-awareness that people should have, and a lot of the times don't have.
Yeah,
where it's like, hey, know what you're good at, and focus on that.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there are too many people out there now who are trying to sit at the cool kids table when just don't have the personality for it.
Yeah.
Or the sense of humor, or just like you're not cool. Like,
yeah.
It's just like you have to figure out if you can do it or not. And if you can't, then find something else to do.
Hey, make your own table.
Right, exactly.
Hey, social justice puppet peaceful protesters, make your own table. That's a nice little.
It's a good quote. It could go on a motivational poster.
Make your own table.
Yes.
Brave Dave Bean of the social justice. What is it? Puppet
peaceful protesters.
Peaceful podcasting protesters.
Yes, we're gonna need to come up with an acronym.
You know what this sounds like? Like brunch is the social justice puppet peaceful protesters podcast. That sounds like people's persons paper people done myth. People's person. That
we need a theme song. We need a jingle.
That second one that they come up with. So the first one is like the Dunder Mifflin, the people person paper people. The second one they come up with is Dunder Mifflin, people's persons paper people. Those harmonies there are fucking sick. Like Craig Robinson, if he. Like he definitely put like 4 hours into writing that little thing, and I hope it's appreciated because that song is heat.
I feel like Craig Robinson should be a late night guy.
Yeah,
like, instead of James Corden.
Yeah,
if it was
Craig Robinson at a piano.
Yes, exactly. Where he could do this like the cool little fucking funny skits and like work in a piano with his monologue and stuff, and then interview people. He'd be so much better.
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that I saw Craig Robinson?
Yes, you did.
And he played that Dunder Mifflin
and he was
song.
The highest guy in the world?
Yeah, he was pretty messed up, and it was in Medford, Mass, and he never stopped. Like, after every song, he was like, thank you, Medford. He never said Boston. It was awesome. So great. Like, he was totally willing to make fun of the fact that he was playing in Medford, which was, like, as much a joke on him as anybody else.
I watched Pineapple Express this weekend at like 3 a.m, and it was, I forgot how great that movie was.
It's such a good movie. It was a massive victim of expectations because that was what came out after like Superbad when they were on that fucking huge run. And Pineapple Express, as Superbad was coming out and as these good movies were coming out, this was like Pineapple Express is their real passion project. So wait for that shit. And you saw it, and it was like, it wasn't 100 out of 100, I guess. So you're like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. And now whenever I rewatch it, I'm like, it's got the second best fight scene ever. It's
in what's his name's house in
Danny McBride.
Yeah, Danny McBride's house. The scene where he's holding the bathroom door shut and they fucking break the door down and his head goes into the sink and breaks the sink off the wall is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
It's his cat's birthday or whatever.
Yes.
By the way, I texted Jeff this morning. Jeff was very excited that in the song The Palace, Father John Misty sings, maybe I'll get a pet, learn how to take care of somebody else, maybe I'll name it Jeff. There's now like a faction of Father John Misty fans who are buying pets naming them Jeff.
Amazing.
And guess who that's amazing for?
Jeff. Jeff loves all things Jeff.
Jeff knows that Jeff is such a fucking killer name.
Yep.
That name rules.
It is a very like it's good in all situations.
Yeah, like if the was it Clickhole or the Onion that had it was a Clickhole, like it's your man Jeff 9 times. Yes. That wouldn't work with any other name. If it was like, hey, check out Paul 9 times, you'd be like, I don't fucking care about Paul.
Right.
Oh, Jeff's in the mix?
Hell yeah.
I have a little Jeff. Give me a little Jeff.
All right, let's
go back to
HappyTime Murders.
HappyTime Murders. My favorite part by far. It was the only part that I laughed out loud. The theater was laughing out loud at a lot of things that were not laugh out loud funny. But I guess if you're going to that movie in a non-social justice, peaceful podcast protesting puppet paper people kind of way, you're probably dumb and laughing at those things. Joel McHale plays your typical FBI
agent.
Takes himself too seriously. Hey, well, we're the FBI. I'm the FBI. This is not your jurisdiction. It's my jurisdiction now. FBI people say jurisdiction so much. So
this is my case now.
Yeah, right.
That's all. That's 100% of the FBI job. They just show up on the crime scenes
Talking
and go,
about
"This is my case now."
Talking about whose case it is, and seemingly, what's a movie that paints the FBI in a good smart light? Like, oh, so the FBI is smarter than the people who know it?
It's always the FBI showing up and fucking everything up, and then turning it back over to local law enforcement.
It's very similar to so if you're like a beat writer of a team and you're there every day and something's happening with a player and you know this player, you know it makes them tick, you got a relationship with them, and you're going to do this big story on the player, and then somehow like a national reporter parachutes in and is like, you don't get to write this story, I'm going to write the story. You're like, well, I bet this guy's going to do a worse job because he doesn't really know this person. Right. He's always just parachuting in and telling everybody they're off the case. So that's what Joel McHale plays, and he's fine as that role. But there's a scene where the two main characters, Philip Phillips and Melissa McCarthy's character, are being not necessarily framed, kind of framed, but there is some question as to, are they the bad guys in the FBI's eyes? So they're coming out of a building, and the FBI is waiting for them. And he's like, drop the gun. And the puppet guy drops his gun. And he's like, you too, Melissa McCarthy's character, drop the weapon. And she's like slowly putting it down. And he's like, drop it. Put it down. And she puts it down. And he's like, I'm going to give you one more chance. Drop the weapon. And she's like, I already dropped the weapon. And he's like, put it down. Drop the weapon. And like her hands are up. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
The puppet guy's like, are you fucking blind?
Yeah. She's like saying to all the other FBI people, she's like, can someone point out to this guy I've dropped the weapon? And he's, last chance, asshole. That was really, really funny to me.
I think one of the only times that I laughed out loud was in the beginning of the movie. The puppet private investigator Philip Phillips gets sent to a sex shop to like interrogate somebody.
Oh yeah,
and he like walks into the back of the sex shop, and there's just like a movie playing.
Oh god,
it's a puppet Dalmatian whipping a firefighter. And the firefighter is just completely submissive, and he's like, "Oh yeah, give it to me." And the puppet's like, "You dirty boy." I was like, "That's so fucking funny." And then another one of the scenes that I laughed at was when they were talking about pilafing.
Oh yeah.
They were like, "You know what happens when a puppet goes to prison? They take out all his stuffing, and they replace it with rice pilaf." And then they fuck it
until it all smashes together and looks like mashed potatoes, which is like, as an Armenian boy, I appreciate that so much because there's nothing worse than like poorly made pilaf that's all like wet and it looks
gross,
and it like connects together.
Yeah.
Man,
like
nothing
sloppy rice pilaf.
Something I like to do for people. You're important enough to me that I think that we're ready for this step. I'm gonna make you some pilaf sometime, and by that I mean I'm probably gonna have my mom make some pilaf.
My mom makes good ass rice pilaf too.
Yeah,
maybe we should have a mom pilaf off.
This is not fair. I would feel bad. My mom would smoke your mom.
Really?
Yeah, because your mom's Italian.
Yeah, my mom's a good ass cook.
But does she dip into the other cuisines?
Yeah.
Like
She
my
does.
mom makes
My
Mexican
mom's
stuff. I
an
know that it's going to
experimental
taste
chef.
like old El Paso stuff, which is great, but it's not going to taste like the authentic thing.
Nah, my mom likes to spread her wings in the kitchen.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we could have a nice little pilaf off here.
What's she using a lot of that chicken stock in there?
I don't even know what that means, but
I don't know either. I think that's like a
she uses
medical term.
I know she uses a healthy amount of spinach.
See, yeah, you're not supposed to be spinach and
Oh no,
pilaf.
it's so good, so good.
Yeah, so she makes pilaf like pilaf that you would get at Grassfields.
Probably, yeah.
They have spinach in the pilaf at Grassfields, which is good.
Right. I always get the pilaf at Grassfields.
Yeah.
Solid.
I always do the steak tips and the pilaf.
Okay.
But yeah.
you're a big steak. Oh yeah, I do the steak tips, scallops, and pilaf.
Scallops?
There's a steak tip and scallops dinner that comes together, and it's the best.
Do you know that you're not supposed to eat two different meats at the same time?
Does scallops count as meat?
Well, like you're not supposed to eat like fish at the same time as eating whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're broken down differently, so it just
Okay.
like confuses the fuck out of your body, and it's probably going to either give you a stomach ache or whatever. But
you
you're
know
not
what?
supposed to do a lot of shit.
Yeah, right. You know,
You're not supposed to swear.
I make my own fucking rules.
Yeah.
and I teach my body who's in charge.
You're not supposed to park
I
in
punish
the
myself.
curbside pickup only spot at Dunkin' Donuts, and I do that every day.
Ooh.
It's like having like a guaranteed parking spot for me, because who's actually doing that? Who's doing the curbside pickup thing
at Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin'
Like,
Donuts.
how much time are you saving?
I know. One of my friends actually does that, and I think it's really, really funny. I'm like, man, you really got it all figured out, huh, pal? You're saving all that time. Were there any other big funny parts of... I laughed at the... I was upset at myself. I did like smirk
the coming
at
thing?
the coming scene.
Yeah, man, it's so much funnier in the context of the movie.
Because he has... It was like the Tim Robinson thing. When he strings out in the episode of, what was it called? Characters?
Yeah.
Where it's like 5 minutes of him like crooning and being
Yeah.
like a Rat Pack thing and then losing it at the end. There was an edited version on YouTube where it's like 30 seconds of him crooning and then shit going wrong.
Right, like you need the setup. You need the
It's
setup
not
and
as-
you need the context.
Right, it's not as funny if it's not that long.
Right.
And in the thing in the movie or in the preview, he's like and that's it, and you're like, "Oh, kind of funny." And in the movie, it's like
And they have way more shots of the people waiting outside.
Yeah.
In the lobby of his office,
and then they go into his office, and cum is just like dripping
off
from-
the ceiling. What's his name was pretty good in this movie. Stanley from The Office.
Yes, but they did the Better Call Saul thing. They aged him backwards, which messed me up.
What made him younger?
They made him way younger.
I didn't think so. I thought he looked way older.
He had a full head of hair.
Well, yeah. I think his hair was just longer.
Yeah.
He just looked way more unkempt, which I think is sort of the
FBI
right
type of thing.
He's the local police.
Oh,
not
yes.
the FBI. Did you notice our guy, Jimmy O Yang?
Jimmy O Yang was in it. Not nearly enough.
No, definitely
Yeah.
not. Did he even have a line? I think he might have had one line.
No, he's like the rookie cop or whatever, and he's just there to be made fun of because he's wearing a hat.
wearing a hat. And they're like, you don't actually wear the hat, you fucking dumbass.
That's actually like you don't see that a lot anymore.
Right.
If I were a cop, that'd be my look.
Oh yeah, with the hat.
Yeah, it's like some basketball players now wear the super short shorts.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but they only get half credit because they wear fucking leggings underneath.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't care how much better it helps with like recovery and everything like that. You don't
it
look
ruins
as
the
good.
look. It ruins the look.
Could you imagine how hot Jaylen Brown would be if he didn't wear leggings underneath his shorts?
You have the bandana on again.
Mm-hmm.
This I think you're like falling in love with the bandana.
Check this out.
I know it's a good look.
This is a good look.
Is that those aviators? Or no, those are Ray-Bans, huh?
No, these are like some whack ass Prada shades.
Oh, okay.
I got
Are they fake?
a million years ago. What's that?
Are they fake?
No, they're real. And
oh shit!
this is I am holding in my hand the silliest purchase I've ever made in my life.
Those had to be like a couple $100, right?
More than that.
Oh Jesus
I
Christ!
bought them when I graduated college as a graduation gift to myself because I was working when I was in college. I started working for WEI.com the beginning of my senior year, and I was making very little money, but more than a college student makes. Like, I kind of had a job.
You were rich in your mind,
right? Because it was like more than I was making more than like your like working college student thing would make. Like I was probably making a little more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
So I graduated college, and I was like, I think I'm successful.
I need a
so
pair of Prada sunglasses.
I'm going to get myself a little gift. And the only reason I went over to the Prada section was because Ari Gold wore these really cool sunglasses.
Always a great guy to model yourself after.
Exactly. And I saw that they had them at the store, and I was like, I'm definitely not going to get these.
That is the douchiest story I've ever heard in my life. It's
right.
Like I went and I got a pair of Ari Gold
I
sunglasses.
got the Ari Golds. That
Jesus Christ.
Those were like way too flashy, but I just saw that they had them there, and I was like, cool. But I remember I didn't want to get Ray-Bans because I wanted to have some sunglasses that not everybody had.
Okay.
And the reason not everyone has Prada sunglasses because they're fucking too expensive.
Yeah, they're douchey.
These aren't douchey.
They're
so
not
down
douchey,
the middle.
but they're not douchey in the context of like what you're wearing right now. You have a headband on. You're kind of like sloppy.
This feels like the first time I've made these sunglasses work. These are usually just my golfing sunglasses, so
like,
I wear them once a year.
I think a really good look is when you are super fucking sloppy and like got like homeless chic going on, and then you got one accessory that is nice as fuck.
Yeah,
and you're just like, that sort of signifies, hey, I could be doing better than this, but this is my fucking look.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going for. Like a nice pair of sneakers with some like sloppy ass clothes, or like sunglasses, or a nice piece of jewelry, whether it's like a watch or a chain or something.
Yeah.
That is like a, hey, I don't care, but I'm letting you know that
you know
I
what
could
it's
be
called?
doing better
You know
than
what it's
this.
called? And brace yourselves, listeners, because we might have the new big dick energy here.
Okay.
Rock bottom hot.
Yeah, hell yes. Oh, is that something that you just coined, or is that like a thing that exists already?
Yeah, we should
rock bottom hot.
Rock bottom hot.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like we should post like selfies like this and be like, feeling rock bottom hot today.
Hell yes. That I'm so into that.
Rock bottom hot.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for HappyTime Murders.
See, that's the way we have to attack shitty movies like that.
We
Which
just
is
sprinkle them in through like 45 minutes of conversation about other things.
Yeah, and what else we've come up with like a new political theme. We've come up with a new way of dressing. This
is a productive episode.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to get to? One of my notes that I had is I was watching House Hunters this weekend. I don't know if you saw me tweet about this.
I can't watch Too Sad when they.
What?
When they get it.
When they get the house?
When they kill the house.
Oh, God.
They're like, I go, shh. Is that a... Oh, it's just a shed. Let it go.
I hate when the houses turn on each other.
Yes.
And they cross each other. And one of them never sees it coming.
I saw an episode where they, like, pierced the house's leg, but... it like didn't really lose any steam, and they thought that like they got it, and they were like, they got it, and like it was like a young house hunter, and he turned around to his dad, and he was like, Dad, I got it, Dad, and the dad was like, oh, let me see, and then the house was fucking there in a second, ate them both.
I was watching House Hunters, and there is a fucking alarming amount of people on House Hunters, or houses on House Hunters, that have carpet in the bathroom.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude, it happens. If you watch like an hour or two of House Hunters, you're going to see a house with carpet in the bathroom. It is insane.
Ooh, that's terrible.
I don't know why anybody would want that, other than like when you're taking a poop.
Yeah,
like having a nice carpet to like rub your feet through would be kind of nice when you're in the poop squat.
Yeah,
but like. Not when your mind gets to wandering and you're like, there's definitely pee particles all up in this rug.
And I mean, it's like if you smoke, it gets on your clothes.
Yeah.
If you poop, it gets on your carpet. Like it's just like the scent.
I don't know about that. I don't know how you poop. I don't think I've ever been like,
well, like if you like
poop on the floor.
Well, like if they don't like, if like you're your significant other, your roommate or whatever, is out for a while and they're gone for like 6 hours and they forget to come and take you out, like you're gonna go inside.
It's the same. It's
gonna poop on the carpet.
It's the same reason that you're like you don't bring food into the bathroom.
Yeah,
because there's like even though you're not shitting on the food, there's that shit's floating around in the air.
I've said this before.
You don't want to contact it.
I've said this before, but one of my top 5 favorite moments in 30 Rock is when Liz Lemon finds out that that Jenna and her ex-boyfriend slept together in her bed. And she goes, "Oh, come on, guys! I eat in there."
Yeah. I mean, like, I think one of the biggest appeals of House Hunters is just seeing the weird fucking shit that people do with their houses because there is some crazy ass shit.
I don't watch any shows like that, and I'm starting to think that I should. I was with a group of friends last night, as usual, and they were talking about. They all watch a lot of the same shows, and there's like a show called 90 Day Fiancé that they watch and things like that. I gotta watch those. I saw my makeup lady at work has, or our makeup lady, artist,
yours alone,
artist at work watches a lot of those kinds of shows. So I'm in there for like 10 minutes at a time, just being exposed to those shows, and I'm like, oh man, some of these shows, some of these people
sound great.
Yeah, there's one where it's like, I got my big fat legs; they're so big. And it's just normal people who've got fucking crazy ass big legs, and that's like
that could be your path to stardom.
That's their cross to bear. Their legs are just fucking huge, and they won't stop growing. And that's the show. It's just we follow around this person with these fucking nut bars legs.
So, like, where do you sign up?
Yeah, there's a show called Mad Men. It's like my big fat penis just won't stop being so big. The John Hamm story.